I have been doing this for over 30 years, and one of the questions that I get often is, do I have enough for retirement? Or how much is enough in retirement? But the question I really want to address is, how do you achieve true wealth in retirement? And I believe our industry's done a lousy job of helping you to benchmark this, to understand whether or not or how to pursue this. And in this video, I'm going to show you how. But before we get there, subscribe to this channel. Hit the notifications bell so you're alerted to when we post new video. I have over 30 years experience with this. So many conversations with my clients that I want to share with you so you can learn from them as you go and approach your retirement. As I said, and I've said this on this channel over and over again, our industry's done a lousy job as far as I'm concerned. The focus is just on the Benjamins, the money. How many zeros do you have after your number? But really, the pursuit of true wealth in retirement is so much more than just the money. It's a balance of how fulfilled we are and how much money we've accumulated and how we go about to truly enjoy the journey into life. And that's what this video is all about. So how much is enough? Let me share a particular study with you that I heard from a New York Life conference many years ago. So they had 3 different sets of folks that they asked the same 2 questions, okay? First group of people, they said, for those people, they had $500,000 of investable assets, and they said, how much do you think is enough to retire? And the answer was about $1 million, because the first question was, do you think you have enough to retire? And they said, no, we need $1 million. Then they went to the second group of people who had $1 million, and they asked the first question, do you think you have enough to retire? And they said, no. Well, how much do you think you need? And they said, we think you need $2.4 million. And then they went to the third group of people who had $2 million. And they asked the same 2 questions. Do you think you have enough to retire? And the answer was no. Well, how much do you think you need? And the answer there across the board was somewhere in the vicinity of $5 million. So do we really know what it is? Or are we always seeking some higher number because we keep getting told we need to grow and invest and buy and do? But does that really serve the purpose? Because the $500,000 person said they thought they needed $1 million, and $1 million person said they thought they needed 2.4. Do we ever achieve or reach that level from a pure financial perspective that we're all set? But that's where the planning comes into play, and that's what we do for our clients with our 7-step process, which is not just talk about the numbers, but it's to find out what will truly make you happy. How do you replace the business culture to become fulfilled? Certainly you have to have the money, but you also have to have some balance to know that you're doing something that will bring you some reward, respect, fulfillment, and joy. And that's what we're talking about here. By the way, I talked about this in a recent video, the difference between rich and poor, as much about values as it is about money, so go check it out. So let me share with you a story. Again, I talk with so many of my clients, and I want to share one of these stories with you. It's a very recent call with a client of mine who just retired. She's been waiting to retire for a number of years, and she finally said, enough. So we were talking about what prompted her to do it and what she was looking to do. And she basically said the last 3 years with this organization, she was not fulfilled. Making a good income, had a lot of assets, okay? They have somewhere between $3 and $4 million of total assets. And when we did the planning, the numbers have indicated for some time that based on their goals, they had enough money and cash flow to retire. But she didn't retire until she found herself in a place where she really wasn't getting the fulfillment she needed from work. So I said to her, well, what's sort of your mission or vision over the next 6, 12, 24 months in terms of this next chapter of life, just a year or two out after retirement. And she said she really wanted to be an advocate for kids. That was what would fulfill her. And we talked about that a little bit. And we were talking about the fact that more than likely she'll do something there. And then once she's doing that, she may find something else and may add that to her portfolio of hobbies or pursuits or passions. But it is this pursuit of passion that once you get the independence from doing a plan, knowing that you have enough money, then you can broaden the way you think about things to truly get fulfillment. And that fulfillment may come from work, but for her it was no longer, or from volunteering and helping others. That's true wealth in retirement. So the question is, are you prepared for retirement? And in my latest book, Don't Outlive Your Money in Retirement, we developed a 2-minute quiz. So go up to my banner, invest 2 minutes in yourself. Do the quiz. I will immediately score for you which one of the 3 retirement preparedness stages you are in. I will also get to you a free chapter of my book and a couple of worksheets so you have some more clarity with regards to your pursuit of your true wealth for retirement. So when it comes to just the planning for the numbers, let's talk about this for a moment. We've got to talk about just the basics, right? What kind of cash flow do you need? What taxes are you going to pay? How are you going to take care of the spouse or the kids and all? And, those are sort of just the basics, the way we think about it initially when I ask you, what do you want to do in retirement? Those are the basics. We want to, enjoy, but then we also want to thrive. So now we start to, at the next level of planning, develop your bucket list items in terms of what are some of those things you think you'd like. Would you like to, go travel a few times, go visit the grandkids, whatever it is you want, and then we put that in the plan. And then we go from survival to thriving to luxurious. We say, what is the, oh my goodness, if we could, what is that thing out there that you may be dreaming of that you don't think you could accomplish, but you'd really like to? I mean, we just had Elon Musk go into space. Do you want to go into space? Do you want to take, a 3-month trip in a private plane around several of the continents? One of my clients did that. What is the, oh my goodness? So we put together this level and layers of planning so you understand what you need for your basics, what you then are going to do to thrive, and whether or not you have some big audacious goal out there. And that's the finances. But after that, does money really buy satisfaction? Or does the expenditure of money get you the reward that you need beyond those items? The answer is probably no. And here is where we're looking to get more. That maybe undefinable, what's out there, what can complete me. And these are the conversations we have to have. And the question we often ask our clients is, and the concern that they have well beyond, am I going to outlive my money, is, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? How am I going to get fulfillment? How am I going to be remembered? And when you start to answer those questions and live that life, then you are truly in pursuit of true wealth in retirement. And for more on the 7-step process and how not to outlive your money, check out our playlist.